Hi, I'm Andy Webb from BeCleverWithYourCash.com. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, please do hit that subscribe button. Really appreciate it. If you do, it means you won't miss out on any of the videos I do twice a week. And if you're back again, great to see you again. Thanks for coming. If this video is useful, please do hit that thumbs up. Would really appreciate it. Now, what I want to talk to you today about some headlines you might have seen over the last few days, which if you're a Monzo user, you might find a little bit scary. Things like this: Monzo faces pivotal year with future in doubt as losses mount. That's from Yahoo News. Over on City AM, Monzo flags significant doubt. That phrase again, over ability to continue as losses double. Well, over on This Is Money, we've got red flags at Monzo. Digital bank warns of material uncertainties over its future after £114 million loss and coronavirus hit. Now you might think, hang on, this is just scaremongering. Where do these numbers come from? There were rumours back earlier this year in springtime that Monzo was about to collapse. Well, these figure numbers all come from here, from the Monzo annual report, which came out last week, which details all their income, all their expenditure, and looks ahead to the next 12 months as well. So this is from Monzo themselves. They have made those losses, those big losses, and they have said that there are, what was that phrase again? Is a pivotal year, there significant doubts, material uncertainties, all that stuff comes from that annual report. So you might be thinking, hang on, that's a little bit scary, isn't it? What does that mean for me as a Monzo customer? Well, first of all, the most important thing to know here is if you have a Monzo account, it is regulated by the FCA, so the Financial Services Compensation Scheme they're part of, which is the FSCS. You'll see that quite a lot on current accounts and savings accounts. This is really vital for anywhere you hold your money. If a bank is to go under, the money is protected by the government up to £85,000. And let's face it, most of us, we aren't going to have 85 grand in any bank, let alone Monzo. Now there are, I should say, temporary uplifts for life events such as you're moving home or an inheritance. So we give it a little bit more money in those instances. Essentially, if Monzo was to go under today or tomorrow, your money is protected. Now it might take you a week to get hold of that cash, but you aren't going to lose it. Okay, so don't worry about that. That's fine. But you might be thinking, okay, that's nice to know, but I love Monzo, and so many people who use Monzo really do. There's not any other bank which I think holds that same kind of affection and even kind of like hero worshipping in some ways that Monzo gets from a core group of its customers. These people really love Monzo. Now, I like Monzo a lot. I think it's a fantastic current account, and I would probably use it for, if I needed help with budgeting, I absolutely would use that one before anything else. And I would be really sad to see it go as well. So I don't go as far as some people, but I think it's a great thing, and it would be really sad to see it go. And if you use it, I'm pretty sure you would as well. So what does this actually mean? Is this going to happen? And you have to sort of then go to another account and transfer everything over and go back to all of that. Let's quickly go back into the annual report, and I want to show you something in here. I'm just going to search for a phrase, 12 months, and I'm going to click 4 times, and it's going to bring me here. And let me just quickly move my face to the other side so you can see what I'm going to show you. So this says here, the going concern is dependent on maintaining enough capital to fund the balance sheet and meet our capital requirements, and it is this bit here. Right, based on this, we have made an assessment of going concern, and the group can operate for at least 12 months from that date these financial statements are approved. So what they're saying there is they have enough money to last for at least 12 months. So although they have posted these large losses, they don't consider themselves to be massively in danger, at risk of going under at any time. So you've got those protections right now for your peace of mind. One, your money is protected if for some reason they were to go under, but also they've got enough capital there, enough money to keep the bank going for at least a year. Now, if in a year's time things haven't improved, things haven't got better, losses have increased, again, we don't know, there's still so much uncertainty of what's going on with our day-to-day lives, let alone the banking world, then potentially it could then start to sort of go into administration, start that sort of closing down process. They would know what was happening before they got that lot ran out of money. Potentially you might see another bank coming in to take them over. I mean, again, they are 4 million customers who love the bank. Any bank would love to get them. And if they can get them cheap to keep it to survive, they may well snap it up. And then they've got other things in the background, other ways to kind of support them and make it more sustainable as a business. Now, on Monzo's point of view, they obviously hope it doesn't get to that. Now, they obviously can generate income themselves through sort of just getting investors in, and they did that recently. They say they've got £175 million right now in capital. That's how they think they can last for 12 months plus any income they expect to get. But the rest of the time, they obviously need to generate more money than they currently do. And there's a couple of problems Monzo have got with this. The big one is that people aren't spending with their debit cards right now, and they haven't been during lockdown. Particularly, we think a lot of people got Monzo to spend abroad, and people aren't going abroad. So you've got people not spending at home, not spending abroad. And because a lot of that kind of everyday income came from those debit card transactions, every time you use your debit card, the merchant would pay Monzo. That income is down a huge amount. The other big problem they faced is that although they've got a lot of customers, 4 million now, they're growing really rapidly. They're one of the top banks to switch to from other banks. People still aren't generally using it as their main account. So it's kind of, they've got one, but they don't really use it day to day. They don't have their bills coming out. They don't make all those transactions from it. They don't have their salary coming in. Don't have any savings sitting there, things like that. So to overcome that, there are a couple of things that need to happen. More people obviously need to move Monzo to Monzo as their main account, and people need to use their card more often. Now, if you are a Monzo customer and you really want to see Monzo survive, then perhaps that's something you could do. You could channel more purchases through Monzo, more bills through Monzo, more money in Monzo. Now, that could means you losing out elsewhere. So you might miss out on cashback by using a cashback credit card. You might miss out on cashback on your bills for direct debits coming out of Monzo rather than Santander 123 Lite. You might lose out on interest on savings by having your money sitting in a Monzo pot, which pays a lot less interest than you'll be able to get elsewhere, Nationwide, Virgin Money, TSB, for example. You might want to pay £5 a month for Monzo Plus. Now, I reviewed this in a previous video. For the money you pay, £5 a month, for what you get extra, I don't think it's worth it. I don't think those features are worth £5 a month on top of the free account. Why pay £5 a month for something when you can get something for free and you get those other features for free elsewhere? But you might decide that you're willing to pay £5 for the whole package. So you're putting some of that money, consider everything you get for £5, including the free account. You might find that's something you want to do. Again, talking here, I guess, to a lot of the big Monzo super fans who don't want to see it disappear. There's some of the things you can do to try and help it build up and sustain. You can also switch from within energy, for example, within Monzo. You're not going to get the best deal by doing that, but it does put money in Monzo's pockets. It's an interesting way to look at it. I'm normally telling people to switch to get the best thing for themselves. So this is a slightly different thing that if you really, really, really love Monzo, then yeah, you might want to consider doing some of these extra things to try and help it sustain itself as a business. But the most important thing I would say is they have said in that annual report they're a going concern for at least 12 months, and they've got that protection. So you can carry on using it either as your main account or as a supplementary account, and you should be absolutely fine. What I would say though, and this stands for all current accounts, not just Monzo, but particularly I think for the digital banks, always have at least one backup account with a polar opposite bank. So if you've got a digital bank like Monzo, like Starling, like Revolut, whoever it might be, always have a backup account with at least one high street account as well, one high street bank. We've seen over the last few years more and more of these IT problems, card problems, people being locked out. Monzo in particular has had some bad press this year, people having their accounts closed without any sort of notice. So if you have got a separate account with some money in it, if something was to go wrong with your Monzo account, you can still access some cash. You've still got your debit card. You can still pay bills, things like that. But as I say, I would say this for any account. If you've got a NatWest account, I would say make sure you've got an account with somebody else as well, maybe even Monzo, just to make sure you've got that flexibility if something was to go wrong with any of the other banks. In fact, I've got a whole article about all the different accounts that I've got and why you should have more than one current account. So I will link to that so you can read that as well. Really, really useful for you to think about how you are using different bank accounts. You don't need just one. But you can, as I say, make Monzo that number one account, at least for the time being, and see how that goes, how that works for you. And that could well help Monzo in the longer term. Don't forget, got plenty more videos on the channel, including my review of that Monzo Plus premium account and a comparison of Monzo versus Starling. Those links will be below. Until next time, take care. And here are a couple more videos you might find interesting.